we are back today in Miami. We got some powerhouses here from the Miami Realtors Association. We have Alfredo. Nobody knows what Alfredo does, but he's here. He's here. If you guys have ever been to a Miami Realtors Association
For
event,
the record, I do have a job. I'm a manager at Compass Coconut Grove. Shout out to my Compass family, #1 volume real estate company in South Florida. So just want to throw my signs out there, Compass. All right, so I do work.
You do work. And then we have a gentleman here. What's your name again?
My name is Fernando Arencibia Jr. It's an honor for me to be here. I was a 2022 chairman of the board for the Miami Association of Realtors and recently elected to be secretary for the Florida Realtors Association. So always an honor to be here. I will say, I think the host is correct, and you are correct as well. You do have a job, all right?
Thank you.
But you also are still trying to figure out what it is that you do.
I do not know what the chairman does.
I'm glad people notice.
For the record, he was very humble, but I'm going to jump in like Flavor Flav. I'm going to do the intro for these guys now that I got the mic, and I'm not under any rules. So this guy is not just secretary for Florida. This guy was our chairman for Miami, runs a big mortgage operation with Avanti Real Estate. And also, the secretary just means he's going to be president of Florida Realtors, which is the largest trade organization in the country with over 250,000 realtors. But who's taking stats? I'm doing good, right? So
You're doing awesome.
If Florida Realtors sees this, 2027.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Fernando's one of the best. And then, do I hype him up too?
Go ahead. You got the mic.
Yeah.
I know it's your show.
No, you got the mic.
That's your
You got the
job.
mic.
Okay, so
was,
this
but you got the
guy
mic.
here to my right, we brought him all the way from Texas.
Come on.
From Texas. He wears Jordans in Texas.
Yes,
So I don't know
yes.
if it's a thing.
Yes.
But Dusty is a not just a speaker, trainer, amazing realtor, real estate professional. But Dusty, give him all the things that you do. But I got to meet him here in South Florida. He came to do a training at our office, and his passion, his culture, like a little spark plug. So I don't know how else to say it, but I'll let him share a little bit more about what he does. But this is Dusty Oglesby.
Yeah, no, I love being here. Like Miami is one of my favorite places to ever come because the energy here is incredible. Everywhere you go, the people are incredible, and they do a great job of welcoming like little Texas guys like me. First time I ever met Alfredo, I was like, I don't know how this is going to go or not, and I think he thought the same thing.
Yep.
But no, I run a coaching company called Redefine Coaching, which actually this is I'm actually saying this for the first time on this podcast in Miami. That as of October, Define Coaching is going to become Redefine Coaching. And that's all I can tell you right now, but we got really great stuff coming. And our whole goal and mission is to help as many agents across the country build their life and their business. So we coach from the inside out, So that's the goal. That's why we're here today, to help pour into folks to really build who they are and their identity so that they understand their business is a byproduct of their identity. So that's it.
Well, he's done that for me. He's been an amazing coach friend. So, yeah, I appreciate it, you being on this. And so, Eric.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
stay quiet now.
Dusty's here. He's talking power of brand. He's talking what sets you aside from everybody else. And it's true for all of you seasoned agents, new agents. If you're in mortgage, I mean, if you're in the industry, period, what sets you aside from everybody else? What is going to make people do business with you? And Dusty, you just got off stage. Giving your ideas, giving kind of like your coaching around that, man. Tell us a little bit more of that power of brand. What does it mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the entire industry right now, there's a huge focus around brand, right? Huge focus on social media. And the reality is I see everybody, like we look at somebody's stuff and we're like, oh man, I think that's great, I'm going to go do that. And then we look at somebody else's stuff and they're like, well, that's working, so I'm going to go do that. And what they miss in all of that is they miss the key ingredient, which is them. People are doing business with you. Right? And if you don't understand who you are and have that identity, then people aren't going to want to do business with you. They don't want to do business with an image because image, like if you're an agent out there and you have an image but not an identity, your image is not going to win. It may win at the front door, but it's not going to win at the closing table. Identity is what's going to get you all the way there. And so we talk a lot about identifying 3 key things: who you are, the values that you stand for, and then why it matters. Because at the end of the day, an agent isn't selling houses. People are going to buy houses. No matter the market, people are going to buy houses, okay? What they're buying, though, is they're buying you as the agent. Right. And so what we talk about is you can't sell what you don't believe in. So you were talking about, you always have them hold up their business card. You say, everybody hold up your business card, and everybody's business card looks the same.
Right.
Right? Like, who are you?
Yep.
Why would I want to do business with you? What makes you different, especially in a market like this? You got to be more prepared than anybody else.
I like that business card thing. Sorry.
And if I may add, because I just had the pleasure of listening to Dusty do his presentation, and kudos to the Miami Association for putting this event together, but also curating all of the presentations. And I thought it was really interesting that Dusty's presentation came after a conversation about people want to do business with you because they know you and they trust you, right? And you cannot develop trust, and people cannot truly know you unless you are authentic.
That's right.
And there was one quote from Dusty's presentation in which he says about defining you, which equals to defining your brand. And it's living and leading from a clear, consistent identity that communicates who you are, what you stand for, and why it matters. And so, you know, I thought that the combination of those two presentations was extremely powerful. And I know you captivated the audience with that message. It seems like a simple message, but it's at the crux of everything that you build upon to grow your business. It is the very foundation.
That's right.
Understanding who you are, it's almost like, you know, to thine own self be true.
Yeah.
You have to really understand who you are. You have to be authentic and be able to convey that in order to grow any legs in this industry. So,
That's right.
you know, I think it's incredibly impactful. Also, if you think about it, in an age of AI and all of this technological growth, the reality is that human connectivity is never going to go away. We are never going to be anything other than a business that is built by and from relationships.
100%.
Right? And so, you know, kudos, excellent presentation. And I think it's a very impactful and important message. And I don't care what you call your company, define, redefine. I know one thing, it's never going to be undefined, because there's
That's
a clear
right.
message,
Yeah.
there's a consistent message, and that is the way, and that is the takeaway from anybody attending here and anyone listening to this podcast. Be authentically yourself, build your business on who you are.
Yeah. And don't sabotage yourself either, because it's really easy for you to sabotage yourself. A relationship, a true working business relationship, even a personal relationship, it takes a while sometimes. You can't expect to come to one of these places and immediately, you know, build a relationship. This is more of a, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, right? But you're really going to get to know somebody after here. How to make this public event and turn it into a private kind of setting, you know what I mean? But you could sabotage yourself. It's okay to come to these events, educate yourself, feed your mind, but it's also okay, just say hi, man, and be you. It's all right. You know, I'm a lender, I'm a broker, you know, I want to talk mortgage to everybody, but even today, who's going to want to talk mortgage the entire day? We bring a nice podcast. We have some heavy hitters on. We educate. That's one of the main reasons why people here. It's one of the main reasons why this organization exists. It's not only to make relationships, build relationships, but it's also to educate yourself. We said it on the first panel earlier today, right? Education, new agents, seasoned agents. You are rubbing elbows with the best of the best here. I tell my guys all the time, there's somebody in this crowd that could change your life. There's somebody in this crowd that could change my life. And what happens? We play it forward. So by them changing our lives, whose life improved? Our families, you know what I mean? Our kids. We're starting to do a lot better things for them. We're starting to actually do what matters, which is be with them, vacation with them, create more memories. At the end of the day, that's what's important, right? So don't sabotage yourself. It's okay to come to these events and just say hi. You know, what are your thoughts on that, Dusty?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is we're in a people business, right? I think we have to understand that people matter. And I love what you said right there. Hey, there's somebody in this room today that could help you change your life, right? One of my favorite books out, it's got a guy by the name of Bob Bowden. He wrote a book called The Power of Who. And the whole premise is, like, you have all of these relationships. The problem is you know these people, but you're not in relationship with them. And relationships are earned, right? Like you just said, right? It's a starting point. You don't just walk in the door and go, hey, my name's Dusty, you're ready to buy or sell in the next 30 or 60, 90 days, right? Like, we got to get in a relationship first. And relationship, the number one place for relationship comes through conversation. And not conversation about business, about conversation, right? Alfredo, you and I connected because we just connected as people.
Wait, but it was kind of like that.
Here it comes.
Shut up, I'm like, I'm Dusty, I'm here to coach. I'm like, who are you? You're what?
Yeah, like I if I remember right, you didn't even want me, bro. Like you wanted like some other big hitter. You didn't know my name.
Not me.
Yet.
My
They
people
sent me this little-
wanted
Here comes the
these celebrities. And little did I know I had the celebrity.
I hadn't arrived yet. You know what I mean? So they're like, "Who's this little 5-foot dude from Texas?" But we created relationship, and we created relationships right there in that room. This was 7 years ago, and some of those people today are still right here in this room that I had dinner with last night, that I get to do life with, right? And I actually, like, they weren't even supposed to come. They signed up like last minute because they saw me on a Zoom, felt a connection, and then they showed up, and then we were able to get into conversation which led to relationship. So no matter, I'd love that you brought up AI, Fernando, because everybody's talking about AI.
Yeah.
And I agree, this is a huge disruption in our industry, but AI stands for artificial intelligence. We're the ones who take it from artificial to relational.
Right.
So we got to use it, but we got to take it from artificial to relational. We do that through conversation.
And I will say, I'm loving the conversation that we're having right now. And I really like this idea of, don't sabotage yourself. And I think that the fastest way that people sabotage themselves, especially when they're building relationships, is if you don't have a long-term view, and if you don't have the perspective of where can I add value to you, because I know that reciprocally everything is going to happen, everything is going to work out. People that have a short-term view sometimes will ask, especially us when we're involved in leadership, what's your ROI? And I go, well, I don't know, man. How much value are you adding to that person? How genuinely are you listening to that person? Do you have a long-term view of your business? How long do you want to be in business? What kind of things do you want people to say about you when you're not in the room, right? And so, I think what happens in this business, sometimes people are just looking for that quick return on that investment, and they don't understand that's not the way the world works. You gotta add value first, and you gotta have a long-term view of, hey, this is a relationship I wanna have, and I completely agree. Everything starts with a conversation. Everything starts with a human connection.
You said something with ROI, so return on investment, and it's when you do leadership and you do these events, you don't know what the return on investment is per se, but sitting here talking to you, there is a return on investment. And what a lot of people that might be watching this is, Fernando, myself, and the Florida Realtors, Miami Realtors, we go and we push for legislation. This gentleman here to my left has been a reason that business tax get taken away. The reason, because we go to Tallahassee, we go to these places and we do that. So that's relationships, knowing the relationship. So he might have a relationship with a homeowner or with a business, and they need something, and they might not be able to do that or get that process or the permit. And now he has relationships that he's built over the years that he can do that. I know if I go to Texas, Dusty is going to have all the relationships there. Right. So just by having this relationship with him coming down here, I have that. The same thing with you, with Eric, with the mortgages. So I think the return on investment that you get, you never quantify it.
That's right.
But you quantify it if you do it the right way. If you pay it forward, if you do it without any intention of expecting anything. Right. So that's when you get the opportunities, the same way that you guys have put this together with a day in Miami. It's you did this for the first one, and now you get to see what we do. So we do work.
That's right.
We do work, but it is a beautiful thing to come from a different angle, Again, none of us started where we're at now, right? There was that first networking event that we went to, that we had the butterflies, that we just walked up to somebody and said, I have FHA conventional, I have the best interest rates, right? But then what happens is you totally sabotage yourself. The person that you approached now no longer wants to talk to you, and when you're walking up, you lock eyes and he walks the other way. So you can totally sabotage yourself, man. Thank you so much for you guys being on this panel. But this is a day in Miami, and I know we got a guy from Texas here. So we're in Miami. I know you've been here. Talk to me. Restaurants. What do you got? What's your favorite restaurant here?
My favorite restaurant here?
Let's talk.
Okay, so literally, I have only been here a little while, and I ate last night at this place called Italy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was incredible. I'll tell you this. Here's what I love about Miami. I love the people. I love the food. I love the culture. I love the relationship. Like literally, I got to travel all over the country and coach, and I get to teach, all over the country and do keynotes and everything. But it's, man, it's just. You guys have such an incredible culture here I love we're talking relationships because it's deep-rooted relationships, right? Like, I wouldn't even be in this room if it wasn't for a deep-rooted relationship with Alfredo, right? And thankfully, Alfredo enough that they said yes, because they're like, hey, we want to bring some little dude in from Texas who has no idea about Miami. What do y'all think? And they said yes, so hopefully we delivered today. But what I found, man, is I just love everything about the entire city. To me, you can feel energy, right? I mean, it's like it's like if you're a realtor out there listening, the number one thing you can do when you walk into a room is bring spirit and energy.
Yeah.
Because that's what people are going to buy, right? They're buying you.
Yeah.
And so bring spirit, bring energy. And that's what I love about Miami is everywhere you go, it has that spirit and energy, and it's just such deep-rooted relationships.
Miami.
I'm about to let him drop a mic right there, but what do you guys want to say?
Was the food that I like? I'm a Flanagan's guy, so Caballo, I know you don't like the wings.
Shout out to Flanagan.
I know Caballo doesn't like the wings. He posted a whole thing about it. So when you watch this, don't come get me. You're the cyclist. I'm not. But I like Flanagan's, but Dusty got to drink the first cafecito down here in the 305. So I know everything's bigger in Texas, but 305 is a vibe. It's a thing.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Changed my life.
That cafecito changed his life.
Changed my life.
So I just wanted to, before I bring it home with Fernando, he's gonna give a probably better response than anything I did. That changed his life, cafecito. So Fernando,
Listen, let me say that if Dusty had Cuban cafe and he survived, he's an honorary man.
one of us.
That's
Dude,
one of us.
Dude,
That
that
is
is
the test.
Like, I don't even drink coffee, Fernando, and that about blew my face off, man. Like, I wake up with this kind of energy. I didn't think I slept for like 6 days.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
It was incredible, dude. It's incredible.
Well, you know, I think your description of Miami is very apt and very true. And it got me thinking that, you know, Miami is the epitome as a city of, you know, when we tell people never remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Miami does.
Yeah.
People may not remember everything they did when they come to Miami, but they remember what Miami made them feel. They remember that energy, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, listen, there's a lot of great restaurants, amazing restaurants in Miami. The food and beverage industry in Miami is only just growing. We have so many, you know, up to a few years ago, we didn't have a single, you know, Michelin star restaurant. Now we are burgeoning with plenty of those incredible restaurateurs that have come to Miami. But I will tell you this, everybody that comes to Miami has to go to Versailles, right? It is an institution.
The Versailles
You gotta get
plug.
cafecito in Versailles, you gotta have the restaurant. But I do have to say, a couple of blocks away from Versailles, there's a little Cuban restaurant. It's been there for a long time called La Casita. And that is the most authentic, amazing Cuban food that you're gonna have in Miami. And I might lose my, you know, my Miami card by saying that, but you know, I'm just giving you the right information, guys.
I knew who would be good wrapping it up. Vite.
Hey, listen, if you know, you know.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, we are done. Thank you again, guys, for being a part of this panel. Dusty,
you,
you're
guys.
awesome.
Thank you,
It's a
man.
day in Miami and the Mortgage Group. We're out.
Awesome.